We are birthing a new reality on this new moon, and I want you to be ready to shed what you need to so that you can truly go after the things that you are desiring. This new moon in Scorpio has the energy of an eclipse. It is dismantling all the past version of ourselves that we have outgrown. But to do that, we have to remember them. And that is why we've been emotional over the last few weeks. And if you haven't and you've been feeling great, that's awesome because you've probably learned this weeks ago. So in this video, I'm going to break down the entire chart of this new moon in Scorpio because basically what the chart says of a new moon is the energy of that new moon. It's not just Scorpio energy. It has to do with the entire chart. So we'll be going over that. I'm going to speak to it on a collective and an individual level. Then the back half of the video, I will be going through what this new moon means for every rising sign. So stick around and you will get a whole breakdown on what seeds you are planning for this new moon. If you want to learn more about astrology, I am a professional astrologer. I teach astrology and I teach it from the lens of people using their chart, using transits to understand themselves better. Astrology is just a mirror because as above, so below, right? And it really teaches us how we can become more self-aware, more conscious, but also live in more of an alignment, live more in that flow state because we stop worrying about who we're supposed to be or what we're supposed to do. And we start surrendering and trusting your desires and understanding them in a different lens. Now, if you're listening to this video and you're like, I want to know more about my birth chart, I do have a freebie for you. It's all about the outer planets. The outer planets are how you connect to society in your birth chart. So head to my link tree in my bio. You can download that freebie. And honestly, it's just going to give you a lot of insight of your own mission down here on Earth. So let's get into the chart. Here is the energy of this new moon in Scorpio. And what makes a new moon is the sun and the moon are right on top of each other. Okay. So the sun is your consciousness. Okay. It's your conscious self, it is your spirit. The moon is your subconscious self. Okay. So on a new moon, our conscious and subconscious are blending in the same sign. So this time it's Scorpio. So the archetype of Scorpio is the alchemist. Okay. So your conscious and subconscious self is thinking about what do I need to transform in my life? What do I need to alchemize in my life? So then your spirit's saying, hey, I have this idea, and it plants it in the moon, and the moon takes it, your soul, and then grows it in the physical reality as it moves through the sky to that full moon in Taurus in 6 months from now, right? So today we are planting seeds. We are wanting to birth something. It might not be physically in our reality in the next few months. It could be, but we are birthing something today. Now, this new moon, like I said, it's not just Scorpio energy. It's everything in the sky will tell us what are we birthing. And on specifically this new moon, it's not so much that you are manifesting new, you are finding clarity. And let me show you why I believe this. So yes, you have your conscious self, your subconscious self in Scorpio. Scorpio is the alchemist. Scorpio reminds us that there is a spectrum of energy down here on Earth. There's a shadow side and there's an empowered side. And a lot of the times, our traumas create these shadowy parts of ourselves, and they live in a closet of our psyche that we've locked away. And we said, I don't really need to touch that anymore. That's too painful. And because we don't touch it, it comes out unconsciously, okay? So a lot of people are like, I went through trauma, I'm fine. It's still living in you whether you realize it or not. And so on this new moon, it's saying, hey, can you open that closet door? Can we look at what you have tucked away? Because what you've tucked away is actually a part of you that you are putting a lot of energy into protecting and not a lot of energy in using. What if we took that part of you that might be really painful, that might have a lot of hard memories, that might tell you some really mean things about yourself, but what if we befriended that? What if we brought it out and we said, hey, I see you. Let's actually work together instead of let me hide you and shame you. And when you bring it out into your awareness and you start to reparent it or you start to comfort it or you start to understand it, that energy that you are putting in that to protect it, you can now redirect into using it and realizing that's actually a place of power. because what you went through created resiliency. And that is what alchemization is. It's to use those really painful times in our life to show us the power that we needed to be able to survive those painful times. People really shit on Scorpio because they're like, oh, they're so jealous, or they're so mean, or they're so emotional, or they're so blah, 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 blah. It's because they have so much spectrum. They have so much emotion, and because they feel deeper than anyone and they're more sensitive because they can feel energy so deeply, they have to put barriers up sometimes. And so all of us do that. This is not just a Scorpio thing. It's just a little bit more obvious for people who have heavy Scorpio energy, but everyone has defense mechanisms and everyone's protecting something. So on this new moon with Mercury, okay, so this is why we're gaining more clarity around this. Mercury is our mind. Mercury is our thoughts. Mercury is how we the messenger. Mercury is telling us it's retrograding. As you guys know, I posted videos about it. And it went back into Scorpio yesterday, I believe. And it's in the heart of the sun on this new moon. It's called the Gazimi. It's putting all those intrusive thoughts on center stage. It is putting all those thought forms that have literally become obsessive, that have hurt you, that you've denied, and saying no more. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm going through right now because I really want to be a little bit more vulnerable with people. I have Pluto at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. On the day that Mercury retrograde went to my Pluto, I have found some intrusive thoughts around how I hate myself. Now, if you know me, I tend to smile a lot. It's my defense mechanism, okay? I laugh a lot. When I want to cry, I laugh because, again, that's how I learned to survive. So when that part of me that I have put in a closet, I call it an exile, when I put that part of me in and I allowed it forward, I had a panic attack. I was uncontrollably crying because I realized that there's a part of me that I have abandoned that is deeply hurt that I never recognized because I felt it was too dangerous to do that. And so it's my soul fragment that I don't even think is from this life because it has to do with Pluto. And so when I became aware of that thought and I explored that thought, it really looped in my Chiron and Virgo. And all to say, when that part is activated, it's when I mess up. And so I try to put on this perfect Chiron and Virgo front of my reality. I try to be this professional person of this is my perfect world, but there's no such thing. And when I mess up or when I fail, and if you look at, I'll do a whole chart analysis of my own so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. That part of me is activated and I have to shove it down. So this Mercury retrograde saying there's no more shoving this part down because what you're doing is you're telling this part to be ashamed and you're not being able to be authentic. And I need you to clear out anything inside of you that is creating you to not be authentic so you can move forward in life and create what you actually want to create. Cue in the rest of the birth chart, okay? So I want you to think about that. Like Mercury retrograde right now is asking you to confront your fears, confront your mental structures, confront anything that is keeping you stuck out of fear. And it's saying no more because whatever you went through, you survived. So you can face it again and you will survive again. So I want you to think about that, Scorpio. What fear is coming up? What thoughts are coming up? What do you just have to face head on? What do you have to reparent? Why do I say reparent? Well, Jupiter is in Cancer, okay? It's trining this energy. Trine is it's supporting. Jupiter's in Cancer. Cancer is around our emotions. So if Mercury is around our mind, Scorpio is around our psyche, Cancer's around our emotional body. There are emotions that we need to let go of because emotions are stored in your body. So your mental mind is telling your body to feel something. It's telling you're having this script play out and your body is saying, I'm done. That is why you're feeling emotional because you're ready to allow this water to come over you and to let it go. You might have felt anxiety. You might have cried a lot. Go take a shower, take a bath, let that energy flow off of you. Because Jupiter is asking you to regulate your nervous system, to regulate those emotions. And it's retrograding, okay? When Jupiter started retrograding last week, it kickstarted all of this because it's really wanting you to let it go, okay? So you're having that. Well, then you're having over here another trine to Saturn in Pisces, We have Neptune here and we have the North Node here. This is the test of faith. I keep talking about this. I know most people are going through some form of spiritual crisis right now. Let me reframe what I mean by this. You are either asking yourself, is spirituality real? You are asking yourself, wait, who I believe in, is that real? What I believe in, is that real? There is some form of illusion being revealed to you. There is some form of test, of surrendering, saying, how much do you truly believe? How much do you trust yourself over anyone else? Maybe someone's telling you one thing, but your intuition's screaming at you. Do you believe your intuition? Will you follow your intuition? Because Saturn has been in Pisces since 2023 saying, surrender. Stop trying to control your life. Your intuition knows where to go. Your spirituality will guide you, but you have to let it. You have to mature in this area of your birth chart. The North Node is here, right? We are all moving to this surrendering aspect of let my life play out. Let my soul guide me and not let the ego try to control so much. South Node in Virgo, we're letting go of that control right now. I want you to think about that. Where do you need to surrender? Where do you need to trust? What illusion is being lifted right now? Maybe you believed in the government all over the world, right? All different governments. Maybe you believed in politicians. Maybe you believed in Hollywood. Maybe you believed you had a famous actor. Who knows? But the illusion's coming off. You're seeing it for what it really is, Neptune retrograding as well. So you can see with Mercury retrograding, Jupiter retrograding, Saturn retrograding, Neptune retrograding, we are seeing things clearer. So on this new moon, I want you to think about that because yes, we birth something on a new moon, but I'm not saying you need to birth anything new. I'm saying call in clarity, call in your next steps, call in actually letting things go that you don't need anymore so that you can be a clear vessel to move forward. Because where we are moving as society is a completely new era. Loop in the collective, okay? What we know, and I've touched on it a little bit, is that we have Mercury, Sun, Moon, Venus, all in Scorpio. This is other people's resources. We see the stock market falling. This is power of abuse because also it is sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, out of sign, but still sextiling, which just means Pluto is really revealing something as well. We are seeing these Epstein files come out. Why do I keep harping on these Epstein files? Because this is the crux of the illusion. I don't think people understand that this has been investigated for over a decade. There has been hundreds of FBI agents on this case. What they have revealed are fake marriages, fake bank accounts. It is a web of lies. It's not just politicians. It's not just right versus left. Anyone who is on this list will be revealed. Hollywood, politicians, foreign governments. There are so many people on this list. It makes my stomach hurt. And why this is being revealed right now is because those people have to be dismantled from power. The illusion, Saturn, Neptune, retrograding in Pisces, has to be lifted so that the new leaders can step into place and take that power back. Pluto in Aquarius. Now, the Uranus aspect of this new moon, right? So I just went over this trine. I just explained why right now this is coming out. Uranus is opposing this new moon, this Mercury cazimi, because if Mercury's in the heart of the sun, it's like superpower. It's like a spotlight on everything that's coming out. Uranus is in Taurus. Earthly matters, values. It's disrupting things so we can realign with our values and our worth. But Uranus is saying no more. You can see there's a kite, right? So Uranus is opposing this and then the grand trine goes around it. And Uranus is an outer planet. This is disrupting things for the collective. This is allowing people who actually care about Earth, who actually have values to step into power. The stock market crashing. This is allowing people to stop hoarding wealth. Whether we'll see it now, we'll see it later, we're going to see a dismantling of the people in power. And that is what Uranus is, dismantling, disruption, chaos. And so while this is literally chaos in the collective, it is a rearranging form of power. Because basically what I'm feeling is the new world that we are building, my vision that I'm kind of seeing come to fruition is so many people are being laid off. They're almost going to be forced into starting something for themselves. There's going to be a lot of people who are like, wait, I can do this. Wait, I can do this. And people who don't want to be entrepreneurs, because not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. And not everyone just wants to. They just want to clock in and live or work for people who they honor and trust and have value based. So I think we're going to see a lot of entrepreneurs starting and a lot of people leaving the current corporations to follow people that they trust. And then those new CEOs, those new candidates in the politics, all that stuff, we're going to literally create a parallel system within the system. Capitalism's dying and it's exploding. And we're going to have this new form of system. And so I think a lot of these really hardworking people in corporate America will eventually dismantle because they're no longer going to allow their bosses or allow the system to keep working because they see the damage and the harm that's being done, specifically when the list comes out and their CEO and their bosses are on it or their company. Again, it's the web, it's the tower moment in tarot. Everything is being revealed so it can come down to rebuild. And that's what this new moon in Scorpio energy is actually bringing us. Now, I will say I am somewhat scared for the collective. And I say that because there will be existential crises right now. This Pisces energy is no fucking joke. This illusion, when we say the veil is being lifted, there are certain people so far in to their belief systems. Again, Jupiter retrograding as well. Our belief systems are literally being revised and re-edited. There are people so far in their cult that when this information comes out, they're not going to know what to do. They've been programmed. They've stayed ignorant. They have been naive. They have trusted political leaders, their spiritual leaders. And I mean, let's talk about Deepak, right? This huge, massive spiritual guru. He's on the Epstein files. I read his book through pregnancy, right? There is so many people that it's going to there's going to be a lot of grief, right? That's Pisces. There's going to be a lot of grief of what we thought people aren't. And what's going to happen through a psychological lens is our whole reality is based off of our belief systems. And if you think about therapy, if a therapist comes and says, actually, your mom did this to you, your dad did this to you, and just told you your trauma without you having any skills to regulate yourself, that therapist ripped off all the defense mechanisms that you had built around your psyche to survive. And then when she's ripped those off, you go into complete trauma, right? You could become flooded. You could go into psychosis because your mind doesn't know what to do. That is about to happen for many people because they're not going to know what to do or what to believe when the person they've put all their faith in is a liar, is a predator. So in a way, I'm actually do feel a lot of compassion coming and a lot of worry coming for people. And I know not everyone's going to feel this. And if you don't feel this isn't your role. But if you feel that you can reach out and support those people, do it. Friends, family, communities. If you see people struggling and you have the capacity to say, hey, I get it. You were brainwashed. You were programmed. I tried to tell you and you were hurtful and you were combative. But you know what? I got you now. I can help you unravel all this trauma. Do that. It's like when people leave cults. It's really hard. They leave their communities. Sometimes they leave their families and they have to rebuild their life by themselves. This is going to be happening on a mass scale, not just in America, around the world. So this is something that, again, I think a new wave of leaders, not just politically, not just business oriented, a new wave of healers saying, I see you and I hear you. And let's process this together. And if you have that capacity, I encourage you to step into that wave. Because Pluto is opposing Jupiter on this new moon. Yes, again, out of sign, it's 6 degrees, but still, it's an outer planet opposing Jupiter. Jupiter's our belief systems. They're dying off. Jupiter's retrograding. What we once believed is dying. Our faith is about to become 10 times stronger. But even that, I might be in question. I will be full on honest with you. Over the weekend, I had a panic attack. I had an existential crisis. Is my faith real or am I just making it up? And I said, Spirit, if I am on the right path, send me a sign. I got 10 signs. And the next day I woke up to the most freakishly accurate astrology world event that I like, right, with the stock and Epstein files and everything. And I predicted a week ago that this was all going to come out, and then it did. And I go, that's what I needed, confirmation. Astrology is real. It's not even a belief system. But the thing is, when people have astrology has this language to give us confirmation of the script, of the simulation, of the movie, whatever you want to call life, we have language to explain what is happening down here. We have direction to know where we're going through the transits. We have hope through astrology. This has kept me grounded. And so through my crisis of faith, I have refound my faith. I've grounded deeper into my faith, and I have come that much more confident that I am here to teach people astrology so that they have this tool to get them through the next few years of chaos. The next few years is a death to yourself. And it's a rebirth as well. It's a 1 year coming. In 2026, we get to rebirth. And when you know your birth chart and when you know the astrology, you get to rebirth your most authentic version of you. And so again, this is why I teach it. I call it level 1. It's not level 1. It's to understand your birth chart from the inside out, the complexities of your birth chart in a way to heal. This is what my astrology course shares for you as an individual. So I just described the new moon, right? And if you've related to this energy of what's going on in the sky just today, think about your birth chart. Think about what happens when you decode your birth chart and you figure out exactly what your energy is. Think about how validating that is. I just left my study session of my students, and we're talking about this energy specifically, and we're talking about the power of astrology. And they're like, they made me cry because they have seen it through the 7-month mentorship with me of how much their lives have shifted by understanding this language, how much more confident they feel in who they are, how much more direction they have in life, and how much understanding they have amongst the chaos. Many of them are highly sensitive people that they were feeling lost when they started my course because of the shit that is going on in this world. But then as every week when I describe this is happening and this is why, they're like, oh my God, this makes sense. And they've got to go share. And then they've helped other people. And this is the ripple effect. When you heal yourself, when you understand, you can go help others. And that's what I'm talking about reaching over the aisle and helping other people right now. So that is the birth chart of this new moon in Scorpio. So I want you to think about your birth chart. Where does Scorpio rule? As I go through each sign, think about what house, and I'll describe it, Scorpio rules. I want you to think about what house Cancer rules. What emotions are you really coming to terms with right now? Where does Pisces rule? What are you needing to trust more than ever right now? Where is your faith really getting put center stage? Where is Taurus? What values are you either anchoring in tenfold or you're disrupting? What change needs to happen so you're aligned more to your values? All that kind of stuff, okay? Okay, so let's start with Aries risings. Scorpio is in your 8th house. I said this with the Mercury retrograde, but you are moving through so much right now. But this new moon is the new beginning of you. You are becoming the phoenix. You are becoming the person that you have always desired you wanted to be. You are stepping in to this person that has this power about you that people just naturally lead. You're finding clarity in the last little fragments of trauma that have held you back and kept you in fear. You have felt like, I can't share this. That's shame. I'm too scared to connect with others. You're finally realizing the power of vulnerability. You're finally realizing that the more raw I can be, the more honest and vulnerable I can be, the actual more success I have. The more people really see me for me. And so there's this disruption of Uranus being in your 2nd house, opposing this new moon of you saying, I'm ready to step into my worth fully. I'm ready to realize inherently that I'm a spiritual being, Pisces 12th house. I am spirit, and I get to show the world the power of being in my full, authentic self. Cancer is your 4th house. You are embodying the wisdom of your ancestors. You are realizing the power of your emotions, and you are ready to walk the walk. Congratulations. Because as we step into this new era, you yourself are going to be building Aries or Aquarius 11th house. You'll be leading these communities. And if you have Aquarius placements, even more so. Because your birth chart naturally lays out the zodiac wheel, you are naturally supposed to be running some CEO show, 10th house Cap, right? And of course, the rest of your birth chart does matter. But your overall energy right now with this grand water trine in your water houses, you have moved through so much. And through that movement, you are finally stepping into something bigger than yourself. And you're connecting all the dots. So I'm excited to see that for you come to fruition and really be that phoenix, be that Scorpio archetype of where your tears heal others. So remember, the more raw, the more vulnerable you can be about your journey and about your pains in life, the more other people will too. And the more success you get because the more authentic you are. Also look to where Mars is in your birth chart because that's your chart ruler and it will really tell you where you're going to lead in this lifetime. Okay, moving on to Taurus risings. Since Scorpio is in your 7th house, there is something around your relationships being a mirror to you right now, okay? You are gaining clarity around a pattern you've been playing out. You've gained clarity around a role you play out in your relationship, whether it's the same role every relationship. Maybe you've taken a power and advantage over people. Maybe they've taken power and advantage over people. Who knows what the role is? But there is a role that you have played out over and over again. And this role has prevented you from actually experiencing the love that you truly desire. And ultimately, the root of this is you don't feel worthy. Being a Taurus rising, your worth is connected to everything you do. Where is Venus in your birth chart? Find her and figure out, where do I really need to gain my self-worth? Uranus is back in your 1st house. You are finally allowing yourself to be the authentic version of you that you want to show the world, but you've been so afraid to show the world because you don't feel worthy enough. You've been living in scarcity. You've been dumbing yourself down. And because of that, you get in these relationships that only perpetuate that cycle. And you're done. Do not ignore what's happening in your relationships. Break the toxic cycle. Now is the time to dive so deep into your own self that your relationships only have either 2 options. One, to get that deep with you and to see you in that raw space and you see them in that raw space and create fucking magic in your relationship, or that person needs to go, or that toxic pattern needs to go. This is a new moon, but this is a new beginning for how you're going to show up. This is a new beginning of how you're going to show up with you. The 7th house does rule relationships, but it only rules relationships because it's a mirror into yourself. When you look in the mirror, what do you think about yourself? Maybe this is a moment that you get to see yourself clearly. You get to see yourself as the beautiful being, the spiritual being that you are, Q in Pisces. Pisces is ruling your 11th house right now. And there is this level of community that needs to be mirrored back, compassion and love for you. I want you to think about Cancer ruling your 3rd house as well. You hold emotions with your words. The way you communicate has depth. And if you can't surround yourself with people that can hold that depth, it's not going to work for you. Your relationship's supposed to have depth, your communities are supposed to have depth, and your words hold depth. So again, find that in your life, but it's going to start with you. Can you go deep with yourself? Can you look in the mirror? Can you see all sides of yourself and say, I love you and you are worthy? Even if you have done things in your life that might make you shameful. Even if things have been happened to you and you blame yourself, no more. These parts are ready to be rectified. They're ready to be integrated with your whole self so that you can see yourself as that Venetian goddess that you are. Moving on to Gemini risings. If you are a Gemini rising, you have Scorpio in your 6th house. And with this new moon, you are clearing. Interesting, I said clearing, right? Even though it's in the beginning, you are clearing this toxicity of your life. Okay. You are clearing things that you engage in every day that you know are not helpful. You know it, but it's a pattern and you're ready to finally have that deep, fresh of breath era of, I don't have to keep going through this pattern anymore. You are ready to energetically clear out your field of people, of jobs, of things that just clog your energy, that make you feel like shit every single day. And you're realizing those things. And that's not easy. It's not easy to realize the toxic things in your life. But by doing that and confronting that, you are going to start a new cycle. And this new cycle for you is going to bring in this ability to engage in something every day that brings you joy. You have a Pisces 10th house. You are supposed to be using your intuition, your compassion. You have Cancer 2nd house. You are an energy healer. Ultimately, whether you do that every day for work or you're just your friend that's an energy, like you do it for your friends or your family, you are an energy healer. But if you have toxic people and toxic things in your life that's blocking your energy, you can't be that person for other people because you're too clouded in your own shit. So on this new moon, it's a new beginning that you are stepping in to this healer realm. You're stepping in to this new spiritual path, to this new guidance that's going to bring you so much abundance, Jupiter 2nd house, so many resources. But you have to trust Pisces 10th house. You have to trust that your intuition is correct, and you have to trust that it's okay to let people go. And that's hard. And let things go. Let the toxic job go that you hate. Let the toxic job go that your boss pisses you off every single day. It's okay to restart. If you are a Cancer rising, this new moon is happening in your 5th house of creation. So on this new moon, you are birthing something from your lived experience that you can't find in a textbook. Because the only way that this thing can come into this physical realm is through your body, 1st house, Jupiter, is from your wisdom, 9th house, Pisces. This wisdom is being channeled from something greater than that you can even conceptualize. Again, 9th house Pisces, this is where Neptune's been. This is where Saturn's been. This is where your North Node has been for over a year now, right? This 9th house has been so activated that you've been getting these downloads, right? Maybe you're reading books and the downloads are coming from those books. I don't know. But that is literally helping you birth something into this reality, Scorpio, that is so deep, that is so raw, that is so you. Again, Cancer rising because the moon rules you, that it's going to attract people to you. And this is what is really going to play out for you as Saturn moves into Aries. This is the thing. Whether it's a course, whether it's an idea, whether it's a project, whether it's a child, I don't know what you're birthing, comment below, but you are birthing something. And I'm excited because I think it's transformative. It's going to help people literally transform their lives in some way. It's going to help people be seen. It's going to help people realize that they don't have to hold shame. They can let it go. But by you being bold enough to birth it, again, maybe it's now, maybe it's in 6 months from now during the full moon in Scorpio, maybe it's a year from now. I don't know your exact timeline. Book a transit reading if you want that, but there's something. Moving on to a Leo rising. Moving on to a Leo rising. If you are a Leo rising, Scorpio, this is literally your chart. If you are a Leo rising, this is literally the chart. This is all happening in your 4th house. And what I'm feeling for you is this is the moment in time you are gaining mastery over your emotional body. You are gaining this mastery over everything you've gone through and everything your ancestors have gone through, right? Like the things that you are holding in your physical body, your subconscious reactions to the world, the programming from the world, all of that. You've clocked it. You've gained it. You've been through therapy. You've been doing all this stuff, right? Because again, Pisces is in your 8th house and Cancer's in your 12th house. So you've been moving through so many emotions, just like Aries risings. You've been really moving through it right now. This is the time that you're realizing my emotions are not a hindrance. My emotions are not a detriment. My emotions are my superpower. And if I can hone in on my emotions and if I can allow other people to hone in on their emotions, I will only create this abundance 10th house Taurus energy. It's going to disrupt something. You are about to be a disruptor. Leo rising, you are about to be seen in some form, okay? Look to wherever your sun is. That's where you want to be seen. You are literally saying, I live in a world that praises intellect. No, we are moving into the era of intuition. We're moving into the era of emotion, and you have honed this. And if you can move through and use your emotion as a superpower, as almost a compass, the abundance will come into your life. But the only way this is going to happen is if you trust. The only way this is going to happen is if you have full faith, Jupiter 12th house. This is why Jupiter's retrograding right now in your 12th house. Where do you not have full faith? 8th house Pisces, Saturn, Neptune, North Node. Where do you still need to transform that? What area of doubt of your intuition, what area of doubt of your spirituality, and whatever that doubt is, patchwork it right now. Work on that. Because once you have that full embodiment of this, and the embodiment of your power, you'll be unstoppable, and whatever you're calling in will manifest, and you will be seen. Okay, if you are a Virgo rising, you have Scorpio in your third house. And the third house is, yes, how we communicate, but it's really around the mental structure of our reality. It is around logic, and it is around your local environments and siblings and things like that. What I'm feeling, because Pisces rules your 7th house of partnerships and Cancer rules your 7th house of community and groups of people, I need you to think about your life. And I need you to think about everything you've learned about the human and about how the human communicates, from your sport team, from your communities, from your relationships. I want you to think about what you have learned about people, because there is something that you know more than other people about. Your ability to understand how people need to be communicated to, your ability to clock into other people's intuition. You read people really well on a mental level, and you can connect with them really well when you allow your emotions to drive you. I'm not saying react impulsively. I'm saying when you attune to someone's nervous system, you can clock what they're feeling and what they're thinking, and you can communicate back to them. It's a superpower you have. And I feel like on this new moon, you are birthing that new form of communication. Whether we can call it telepathic, you are literally tuning in to energy. And you, I think, have discredited this about yourself. I think you felt like everyone knows this, or everyone can see this patterning. No. Scorpio is the investigator. It's the third house. Your mind investigates people without you even realizing it. And with Uranus being in your 9th house, your beliefs, your spirituality, something's disrupting, and you're realizing, no, I am really good at this. Oh, this is a gift. So I believe you are birthing a new way of relating to people. And because you're birthing this new thing into your life, a new way of communication, your love life is shifting, and the communities that you're around are shifting. And this could mean that you're going to start leading a community. This could mean you are going to be doing, I don't know, again, or your relationship could upheaval, or maybe you're calling in a new love that's deeper than ever, that Pisces spiritual love that you're craving. There is something for you, but I want you to think about how you communicate and how it's actually such a gift in that it's new. It's a new era for you. Okay, Libra risings. If you're a Libra rising, this new moon is happening in your 2nd house of resources, money, money, money. Sorry. Ew, I probably should never do that theme song again. Oh my God, I just realized where that's from. Okay. You're in the 2nd house of resources. So I know, Libra risings. Oh, I know that you have been cooking up some good shit. I talked about this again on the Mercury retrograde video, but I know that you know that this is a moment in time that you are starting a new way of making resources in your life. And I'm not just talking about money. This is a new way that you're actually finding peace in your life. You're a Libra rising. You are seeking out balance, and you are seeking out peace every single day. And what happens is sometimes you self-abandon for that peace. This new moon in Scorpio is saying no more. You can gain, you can manifest, whatever you want to call it, this energetic peace, whether it's a financial gain, whether it's just an energetic resource gain. You can gain this into your life, and I'm going to birth it now. I'm a Libra rising. I found myself obviously financial. Obviously, I want money, but I really found myself realizing I'm not manifesting money. I'm manifesting the feeling I have when I have safety and stability and security. And I'm manifesting what it feels like. That is what I want you to think about on this new moon. You're gaining clarity around what you really want your resources to be. You're gaining clarity around what is a resource. Is it money? Is it peace? Is it energy? Because with your 6th house being Pisces, your energy every single day is key, because you're very sensitive. And with Saturn being in your 6th house right now, you have been working on energetic boundaries. So I want you to think about, you have a new moon in your 2nd house of resources, which will likely convert to money, but I want you to think broader. You are gaining more resource every single day when you protect your energy. And ultimately, Jupiter 10th house, that has to do with your legacy here. You have expanded since June in so many different ways in your career. And if you haven't, you know where you want to go. You just haven't taken the leap yet. You're here to support others in some form. Your energy is healing energy. Whether you're a therapist, whether you're a mother, whether you are just the best friend, you help people transform. That is part of what you do. It's a natural talent, second house. Your natural talents to gain resources. And so I want you to think about that on this new moon. Not how can I use my spiritual gifts to make money? How can you use your spiritual gifts that will ultimately give you more resource in life that will ultimately be money, because that's the paradigm we live in, but who knows where we're shifting to? Okay, so there's something here for you, that your gifts, your natural ability to connect with people, look to where Venus is, your chart ruler, this natural ability you have should be gaining you resources. And if it's not, you make pivots right now, or you're getting clarity of how to make those pivots on what steps to make so that you can have that peace that you're seeking, the ultimate resource in life. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is happening in your first house of self. I love that for you. I love this for you because you are gaining clarity on you. What other powerful, how much more amazing could you get about that? This Mercury retrograde, being back in your first house, this energy of Venus being in your first house, there's this energy about you that you are coming back to love yourself. You've had to filter through a lot of trauma in this life, I'm assuming. You've had to experience a lot of hardships. And through those hardships, you might have really disconnected from your soul. You might have really held a lot of shame. Or maybe you've actually realized how fucking dope you are. And if you have already realized that, that's amazing, right? It's just anchoring in right in this moment. This new moon is allowing you to see that about yourself. It's allowing you to love yourself more than anything else. And by you loving yourself that much, it's going to radiate off of you. And in turn, your entire relationship shift, Taurus, seventh house, because that's where Uranus is, right? So it's disrupting the way your relationships are because you yourself are changing. You yourself is becoming so magnetic because you're stepping into this authenticity that you've never experienced before. This up level is directly going to be related to your fifth house, Pisces. Right? You are literally birthing something into this reality that is very spiritual. And Saturn's been there. You've been working on it, right? You've been really honing in on really building something that you were going to birth, this creative project. But I think there was a block of confidence. And this new moon is anchoring in that self-love, anchoring in that confidence that it's that time that you can do this. And so when Saturn goes direct in Pisces on November 27th, there's that momentum forward again. And Cancer being your ninth house and Jupiter being transiting there, there's this authority that's kind of being turned on. So you're magnetic AF right now, and your relationships are going to mirror that back to you. And I want you to think about your relationships, not just in the love, but it's your relationship to money. It's your relationship to anything. It's your partnerships to life. How you perceive yourself has completely changed. And that mirroring effect will be mirrored in everywhere. And what can happen with this is you could lose some people in your life. And I know that can feel really scary, but I just want you to allow yourself to release anything that is not matching your energy, and not in like an egocentric way. But if there is something that is continuously holding you back, and you see that and you see yourself going like moving up, and that thing is just tearing you down, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to grieve that. So that felt needed to say. Okay, Sagittarius risings. You have Scorpio in your 12th house. So there is some clarity happening around patterns that you've engaged in all your life. You have self-sabotaged in some way. Honestly, what's coming up for me is there's been a fear of actually being vulnerable. There's been a fear of actually connecting with people. There's been a fear of actually trusting that there is spirit. Again, your 12th, 8th, and 4th houses are lit up. These are the water houses. These are the emotional. These are the spirituality houses. So these are the harder houses being activated for you. So with a Scorpio 12th house, I believe you're gaining clarity on spirit's real. Spirit's real, and you are about to trust it. And that's fucking terrifying. You are the fool in the tarot deck that you're about to jump off the cliffs and go on the spiritual journey. And it's another realm, right? Because everything is cyclical. So you're in the 12th house and then it's going to be first house, right? Sagittarius is for your first house, your Sagittarius rising. So during Sagittarius season, it's like, here we go, let's adventure. But the only way you get through that is when you really go in the depths of your 12th house. So you're in the depths right now. You're in the shadow right now, and you're in your deep unconscious, and you're having to wade in the waters, and you're having to trust the darkness. And trusting the darkness can be really scary. But it's oh my, I don't know why tarot is really on my hand. It's like the hermit with the lantern. You are finding the light. The light is within you. And whatever spiritual lesson is coming to you, I need you to trust that. Any doubt that, is this real? Is this not real? It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. I promise you, it's real. And so having that Pisces fourth house, you might have had a childhood where there was no boundaries and you're like, if God's real, then why would this happen to me? Or maybe your parents were super spiritual and you really resisted that. Or maybe you are just really spiritual innately and you already get this. You're almost going on a deeper level because, right, everything is cyclical. You're going on like another realm, another level of your spiritual awakening. It could feel like a dark night of the soul right now, this new moon, when the sky is dark, and it could feel like you are literally shedding from the inside out. Trust that, because you are. Your chart ruler Jupiter is retrograding in your eighth house. Eighth house is your psyche, right? You're moving through deep transformation right now, and let that happen. Saturn's been in your fourth house of emotions. You've had to really, really focus on those since 2023. This is no different. This is almost turning up the notch. The notch is being turned up so you can trust. So my heart goes out to you. But honestly, when Sagittarius season hits, like, you're off to the fucking races. You are going to feel this amazing energetic shift. You are going to feel like you can go out into this world with more faith than ever because Jupiter rules you, your chart ruler. The planet of faith rules you. So this is the time to anchor into that. Okay, Capricorn rising. If you're a Capricorn rising, you have Scorpio ruling your 11th house. 11th house means groups of people. It means your network of people like-minded. It's also your hopes and your dreams. So with this new moon happening here, I actually want you to think about what clarity is happening around your hopes. What is your dream? Because there's this moment that I'm feeling that you're actually getting clarity of what you're calling in. And the rest of your life is about to start mirroring that. Because again, your 11th house, the people you surround yourself with need to kind of match that Scorpio energy. You are ready to get deep with people. And by getting deep with people, you start to see yourself differently. 7th house. That's Cancer, right? Your relationships are meant to have this nurturing effect on you. You are a Capricorn rising. You had to grow up probably really young. You've been this like adult your whole life. And I feel like this new moon, you're allowing yourself to soften a little bit. You're allowing yourself to surround yourself, or you have this desire to surround yourself with people who just get you, that want to get deep. You're over the surface. It is to get that. What relationships can I be a little bit more nurtured in, Jupiter? Where can I soften a little bit? Where can I ask to be nurtured? Where can I nurture more? There's this level of softness coming to you. And I mean, wherever Saturn is in your birth chart, you are really meant to build something. And Saturn's been in Pisces, right? It's been retrograding for you. Your chart ruler's retrograding. That can feel like an energetic constriction. And I feel like over the last few months, as you've been restricting, it's been trying to get you to see where you need to go. And that is that 11th house. So again, hopes and dreams is really coming up. Not yes, communities and making sure you surround yourself with that. And that's going to be a mirror to that. But it's really around, where should you be putting your energy right now and the clarity you're getting around that. Okay. Aquarius risings. If you are an Aquarius rising, you have Scorpio in your 10th house. It's an angular house. It's the house that is the most seen. What are you about to birth into this realm? That is, holy moly, what are you about to start? Because it's your legacy. Whether it's a project that you've been doing, you are up leveling in this 10th house era. 10th house is the very top of your chart, okay? So it's what we are known for. It's what we're doing in the day. And like, people are like, oh, there you are, there you are. Like, it's the most seen. You literally have this new moon at 28 degrees of the most seen house. And the Kazimi's there. There's this clarity of how you're going to communicate your desires to the world. There's this clarity of what you're about to do. And what you're about to do is transformative because that's Scorpio, 10th house. You are meant to be this transformative person, whether you're helping other people transform or maybe it's you. Maybe your journey is transformative. Maybe it's this thing that you've created that helped people transform. I don't really know. Pisces rules your second house. So I do know what your natural gifts is very intuitive. I do know how you're supposed to make money is through using your intuition. I do know your sixth house is Cancer, right? And so you, again, have this nurturing, empathic way about you, but it's Scorpio. And because of these gifts and talents and skills that you use every day, ultimately, your legacy is to help the world transform. And with Sag ruling your 11th house, there's this wisdom about you that you bring to people. And so again, on this new moon, I want you to think about with Pluto in your first house right now, like that's what I'm feeling. Your identity is transforming. I've said this again in the Mercury retrograde video, but with being Aquarius rising, you're stepping into this new leadership realm. And I think that this new moon is part of that. It's that next level. So it could be that you're literally just starting to think of the idea. It could be that you're actually finally sharing this idea or you've been mastering it. And again, you're up leveling. There is this level of like stepping it up a notch. And it has to do with what you're here to provide the collective over the next 18 years. And with Uranus being in your fourth house, you are not letting your self-worth hold you back anymore because you're realizing you're a badass. You're realizing that maybe whatever you went through in your childhood, even the safety you had in your childhood, you're leaning on that so you can be seen a little bit more. Okay, Pisces rising. You have Scorpio hitting your 9th house, okay? So your 9th house is higher levels of consciousness. And why it rules higher levels of consciousness is because it's around adventuring, it's around philosophy, it's around spiritual lessons, mentorship, higher levels of learning, right? Let's expand the mind. So on this new moon, you're being asked to allow yourself to expand in ways that might feel uncomfortable, or you're getting clarity around a belief system that's outdated that you're ready to shed, or you're getting clarity around a belief system that you want to anchor. And that belief system is a thread you're pulling that you're going to go down. Because with Pisces being your first house, Saturn has been there. Saturn's your teacher. You've been learning about you. You've been learning about energy. You've been learning about how actually intuitive you are and how you walk up to someone and you instantly read their energy. Well, Scorpio ruling the 9th house, you needed to learn what energy is. You needed to kind of understand the philosophy around it, the spiritual teachings around it. And so maybe you're ready to investigate that a little bit right now. Maybe you're going to go down a rabbit hole of learning astrology, learning tarot, learning the occult, so that you can naturally use that first house Pisces for your benefit. But there is something here that you are needing to expand your consciousness. And by you doing that, your psychic gifts are turning on. I just keep hearing right now, psychic ability, psychic ability. You're honing your psychic ability. Because again, as a Pisces rising, your rising sign's how you're going to rise above and get to your MC, your psychic gifts. That's why the North Node has been in Pisces. Your body. Your body is your compass. And so with Jupiter in your 5th house of Cancer, you're really nurturing this right now. You're really nurturing your physical body. You're really nurturing your energy, and you're really needing to learn the ins and outs. If Scorpio reminds me of like the magician in tarot, the magician in tarot has all 4 elements, right? It has earth, wind, fire, well, air, and water. And it uses the 4 elements to manifest anything it wants because everything is created from those 4 elements. So it almost feels like that Scorpio 9th house is you are that magician. You are learning the recipe you need to manipulate the world and then basically be intuitive psychic and like manifest shit. Sagittarius 10th house Jupiter, right? So like is your 10th house ruler. Like there is this level of wisdom that you are meant to be known for to some degree wherever your MC is, but right now is the time that you're honing that craft. And again, it could be a start of a journey of learning something, or you are finally ready to teach that thing, or you're finally ready to practice that thing, and you're finally ready to see the results come from that thing and being like, whoa, that is real. Whoa, energy does work. Oh, I can bend energy. This is fucking dope, right? Okay. I just shared my screen that entire time. So I was probably like this little circle. So thank you if you stayed to listen through all the rising signs. This has been the most powerful week of my entire life. I have cried more in the last week than I think I've cried in years. I have felt like I was dying. I have felt like I have hated myself more than I ever have. But now, today, on this new moon, I know that it hasn't peaked yet. I'm feeling just so fucking confident that what I am doing, what am I teaching from astrology, how I'm teaching astrology, why I'm teaching astrology has never felt more clear and more confident in my life. And so, if you are seeking something to just help you get through the next few months, if you are seeking something to help you get through life, if you are seeking who you truly are at your core, this is what my course will teach you. My course walks you through the first half of you, your core energy, right? How you move through this world. The second half is why you're here, how to decode that, your karma, your shadow, your trauma. And so when you have this full vision of your birth chart, you start to realize how to use it to play the game of life. And when you start playing the game of life, it becomes electric. And then the sky starts moving, and then you learn transits and you learn how to start manipulating that energy. It's not to predict that you're going to get married during this year. No, it's so that you can feel worthy enough when you're at that aisle that you deserve that love. It's so that you can step into your magic and what your soul is here to give to the world in this next era. Because again, we are birthing a new era. And if all our souls knew what our gifts were inherently, and we could step into that leadership role, whether it's behind the screen, on the screen, just with family, it doesn't matter how you lead in some way. Your soul wants you to lead in some way this next era. If you knew that, the world would change because it ripples. So even when one person understands their birth chart, they understanding that will ripple to the next person. And then when they realize the power of astrology, they start to share that with someone else. And then that person goes down the rabbit hole, right? It is truly magnetic. So if you want to learn astrology through the lens of empowerment, through the lens of up leveling life, through the lens of giving back to the world, this is why I teach astrology. It's not your personality while you'll learn that. It's soul level work. It's soul transformation. It's moving through those energetic blocks that have kept you stuck for way too long to give you the confidence to be you and not the person you've been told to be, not the person that you're scared to be, right? Because you're going to move through the energy. You're going to have the confidence. Your chart's going to show, no, this is who you are. And you're like, fuck yeah, that is who I am. I'm a badass. I keep saying that because you are. Okay. Head to thelunarchild.com. If you want more information on the astrology course, I have our first study table on Saturday. So if you get the course before Saturday, come chat with me one-on-one. We can look at your chart. I'm giving 29 now because someone just booked $100 transit readings for 2026 to 2027 because I really want to do some research. I'm seeing some pattern in the sky. So if you want to get some timing, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, that reading's for you. We'll talk about your soul purpose and we'll talk about how to implement that between 2026 and 2027. And if you're just like, I want to learn more about myself, but I'm not ready to invest, I, again, have a freebie on the outer planets. It's in my link tree. Download that, learn about how you can give back to the collective because it takes all of us. The world is shifting. The new era is being born and you are a part of it because you are listening right now. I will see you in the next video. Enjoy this new moon, get that clarity you need, and magnetize the life in you desire.